Lightning Round. Media professor Jackie Guzda is here. Paul Levinson has joined us as well. He teaches media studies at Fordham University. And sticking around his dad, Friedheim. He's a foreign policy expert. We're going to have a little fun here. We're going to start with Hugh Jackman, who apparently has thrown his support behind Australia's Aboriginal communities after a young girl reached out to him in Hollywood and said, "Give us a hand." Good actor, good publicity. Would you agree?
I think that when somebody has publicity like Hugh Jackman has, he also has a responsibility to do the right thing. And so by taking this kind of civic action, I applaud him.
Well, you know, you make a good point. Some people say actors should be actors, and they should not be on the political realm because, you know, that's not their job. And they might lose some people when they get into areas. This is a feel-good story, obviously. But the overall thought of it, should actors get involved in politics? Does it help them or hurt them?
Actors are human beings before they're actors. So absolutely they should. You know, if it hurts them in their career, well, you know, that everyone has to do trade-offs. And I admire Hugh Jackman.
I remember some of the actors got involved in the civil rights
and Jackman has credibility on that issue.
And he's a handsome guy. Let's face it, he's a handsome guy, good actor.
Those communities.
Michael Jordan, who sells his Air Jordan, says he doesn't get politically involved. He goes, because he's a Democrat, but he goes, Republicans buy sneakers too.
Exactly. Well, that's my point. That's my point. Sometimes when you do that and you're in the public eye, you run the risk of alienating some of your viewers or supporters and so on.
Well, look, I'm a professor. I try not to be political in the classroom because students are paying for the privilege. But on a show like this or in the world at large, why not be political?
All right. Has everybody seen Monica Lewinsky's speech in Vancouver this week, in which she talked about the culture of shame with regard to the internet? How she got in trouble before the internet. She's happy it wasn't during the rise and strength of the internet, otherwise it would have been worse. But she did something bad. She was 22 years old. She made a mistake, and for the next 20 years she's been suffering. Does anybody feel sad about
You
Monica?
mean you're watching Monica when she comes back?
Well, by the way, I think she's had some work done. Just for the record, I saw the photograph. I think she had some work done.
Oh.
Well, I think cyberbullying is a very serious issue. Tyler Clemente, right here in New Jersey, committed suicide because he was bullied about being gay. So good for Monica Lewinsky for speaking out about it. However, she might not be the best person to speak out about it because she contributed a lot to whatever bullying she might have
I would
gotten.
disagree. I think she's the perfect person because in retrospect now, 20 years later, she's looking back and realizing how it all bubbled up and how more people are shamed on the internet. And it can be very hurtful. I had a colleague of mine on Fox the other day, a young man who was talking of Generation X issues. He said the hateful tweets he got were impersonal. You're too fat, you're bald, whatever the case may be. Do you agree, Jackie?
Well, I know that happens, and it happens to friends of mine. But I think Monica Lewinsky, about 5 years ago, was complaining that her life was over. She couldn't get a job because of what had happened 20 years ago. And I just think that now that Hillary is running for president...
Oh, so you think it's time? It's
I
political.
think it's been time.
Or you think someone invited her at this moment?
Yes, I do think so. Although I think I watched
You're such a cynic.
You are a cynic, Jackie.
Terribly cynical and realistic. But I watched her talk, and she did a great job. And I thought that the subject matter was terrific.
All right, good. So on the bright side, it is an issue, cyberbullying. That's very important. It happens every single day. Sadly, some people take it to the extreme. I think most people are hide behind the anonymity of the internet to make comments like that. We have all lost our gloves, especially during the winter. We leave them at a restaurant. I forgot my doggy bag the other day. I left it at the restaurant. But your umbrella, I don't know how many umbrellas I have lost over the years, and we all have. You go to a restaurant, there's a bucket full of them. But now they have a Bluetooth connected umbrella that will remind you that you're leaving without it. What will they think of next? Paul.
I wish I had some kind of little Bluetooth thing I could put in these glasses.
Oh, that's
I'm
good.
constantly
I was thinking keys.
They do actually have a little thing for keys now. It's like a little
Bluetooth?
small square thing you can attach to your keys. But for an absent-minded professor, these things are godsends.
Are you saying you're an absent-minded professor?
I forgot. Did I say that?
But it's a good, and I'm surprised there aren't these Bluetooth connected items and more things that we leave and forget. You know, I know now, of course, on a more serious note, some folks with Alzheimer's disease, they actually have something that they wear around their neck to find them if they wander off.
Now that's a serious
Yes,
issue.
of course.
Yeah.
The umbrella,
So
of course, is trivial, but we all have left an umbrella somewhere.
And we joke about how eventually they're going to embed chips in people.
Yes.
But being able to track people who can't take care of themselves would be really useful.
Very, very important.
But you know, sometimes it can be an advantage. There's like an old story, true story in my family, that my father left his hat at a hat check and they couldn't find it, and they gave him another hat. It was much better than his original hat.
Or how about the guy who goes back to get his umbrella, or the woman who goes back and meets her future husband or wife. So maybe sometimes you have to leave something there. There's a reason that it should be left there.
Right.
It's a very good point. Okay, have you seen this video, what's going on in India? The cheating scandal there. And by the way, it's pretty blatant. They're going to show you the video right now, I'm sure. These are kids taking a test, and their friends and colleagues and family members have actually climbed the side of the school to give them the answers to the test because there's some financial reward if they do well on their tests. Would we call this cheating?
This is why I give open book exams.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, because you can't prevent cheating nowadays.
No, but I mean, that video, I couldn't believe it. I mean, you know, you're
So
sitting down for your
creative.
exams and, you know, Ma, what are you doing out there? I
And
mean,
a paper airplane
Yeah,
flies in
really?
the window
Very
into your lap.
creative.
you think the teacher would have noticed?
Yeah, I'm saying, why didn't the teacher notice? Or maybe the teacher's in on the, maybe the teacher gets a kickback.
Maybe.
Selective blindness.
Now remember, it was one of the poorest states of India, so I also thought this was an example of appropriate technology, right? It mentioned students elsewhere in India cheat with WhatsApp on the iPhone, right? But here, maybe they can't afford the
I thought the paper
iPhone, but
airplane
everyone can
was
afford a paper
brilliant.
airplane.
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you just take a book that might have the answers in it and have it by your side
Throw it
instead
in
of
the-
having your friend or cousin shooting?
Maybe they can't afford the price of the book.
Very good.
Textbooks are very expensive.
Ah, could be.
Well, we'll see where this goes, but I don't think and by the way, it's dangerous, kids. Don't try this at home. Climbing up 2 or 3 flights of, 2 or 3 stories to actually get a message there. But again, it's also an example of what happens when there's a monetary reward at the end of something. I'm sure if this was just a test, there wouldn't be concern here, but apparently if you did better on the test, you got more money.
Oh, absolutely. And as we know as college professors, kids are constantly finding excuses to get out of exams, to get better grades. I mean, kids have hacked into
What have you
computers.
seen? What cheating scandals have
How
you seen?
much time do we have?
How innovative can kids get in your class?
Oh, you know, I'm not kidding. I go in, I go, okay, everybody, roll up your sleeves. You know, oh, come on, professor. I'm like, let me see, let me see. I've had that before. The most interesting one that happened was that a woman showed up in my class and she had crutches and she had her leg bandaged all the way up to the hip.
No.
We had a test and she was crying. And she was crying real tears. And I was like, what's wrong? She goes, no, I want to stay and take the exam and all that. I gave $10 of my own money to another student, put him in a cab, and said, take her home. And then my chair came and she goes, do you have so-and-so in your class? I'm like, yeah. She goes, no, she does this every time she has a test.
So a fake injury? Or
Was she writing the answers on the?
No.
She to get out of it.
She to get out of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say she should get an A if it was a drama class.
I said that she should have been chair of the drama department.
Well, I'm sure you've seen your share of cheating.
Oh, absolutely. But
Anything on this scale?
No, but that's why I really do only give open book exams, because my philosophy is I want them to understand the material, not just memorize it. And if it's an open book exam, by definition, you can't cheat.
Jackie, real quick, if she got out of the test, what do you do in that case? She got to take it eventually, doesn't she?
Right. But people are so crazy, and they do the same things over and over.
So it gives her more time to study for it?
And, you know, I don't know what to say. I had a girl who killed her mother in the beginning of the semester, used that excuse for not coming to class.
What do you mean she killed her mother?
She said her mother died. That's why she didn't come to class for 3
She
months.
was the murderer.
And then she came in later. No, in a sense, but she came in later in the semester, and then we were talking. She goes, oh, wait, I've got to check my phone. Hi, Mommy.
Oh.
Yeah.
So mom dies once a semester.
I said that I tell my students.
That's true. Grandmothers die like
all the time.
Aunts and
All
uncles,
relatives
cousins,
are
constantly dead.
Okay, let's talk about the solar eclipse. This is something, even in this day and age, we know exactly what causes it. We time them out. We can tell you when the next one's going to happen in the United States in 2017. But we had a total solar eclipse, and people were out there with special glasses. When I was a kid, you had to look into a box, but now they have special glasses. And they could see. Why does this continue to fascinate the world, where people actually take trips to certain islands to get the best view? We've seen this before, haven't we?
Well, I mean, you could take a
You
trip
could see
to
it on
Cape
TV.
Canaveral.
That's right.
You could take a trip to Cape Canaveral to watch a rocket blast off.
Yeah.
But this, you don't even have to take a trip if you're in the right place.
But
right?
It's
only going to happen
wonderful.
a few times in your life.
It's fascinating.
Right.
It's intriguing. It's wonderful. But why not just stay home on the recliner and watch it on the news later that night?
It's not the same at all.
Or go on a website where somebody's...
It gets to our very notion of what we're doing here in this universe. And you know, we have this sort of view of the heavens. They're pretty fixed. You know, the sun rises every day. So when there's something like an eclipse, it really shakes up our perspective, and that's good.
It makes you think what those folks centuries ago thought was happening when they saw something like that without the knowledge, the scientific knowledge that we have now. This has been a real good lightning round. We appreciate it. I learned a little about cheating, which was interesting from you, Jackie, and Paul as well. We thank you very much. And until next time, thanks for joining us on Fresh Outlook. We'll see you again.